every single piece of that monster polynomial and figure out what it's actually made of. And speaking of recipes, here are our ingredients. The coefficients, all those huge numbers from our monster equation, that's what we're going to feed into our theorem, one by one. It's time to start the investigation. Okay, so the investigation begins. What the theorem is going to do is take all those ingredients, those original coefficients, and it's going to spit out a whole new set of values. We'll just call them S coefficients. And you can think of these as like a simplified readout of the polynomial's real structure. Our job, as the detectives here, is to look at these new values and see if we can spot a pattern. All right, first test is done. We run the numbers through the theorem, and our very first S coefficient, S0, it comes out as 0. Okay, interesting. One component down. What's next? Second test, also 0. Okay, wait a minute. Now we might have something. Is this just a coincidence, or are we starting to see a pattern here? And the third result is in. You guessed it, it's 0. Again. Okay, this is getting weird. We have this absolutely massive, complicated polynomial, but our super powerful theorem keeps telling us its essential building blocks are nothing? What is going on? And yeah, the pattern keeps going. The next two S coefficients, 0 and 0. So that's 5 tests and 5 zeros. It's almost starting to feel like this whole monster equation is just some kind of illusion. But then, just when we're ready to write this whole thing off, our investigation takes a sharp, dramatic turn. That pattern we've been watching so carefully, it's about to be shattered. Boom, there it is. The fifth S coefficient is not 0. And it's not just not 0, it is a massive number. This is the plot twist right here. After that long string of nothing, this enormous value just pops out of nowhere. This is the proof we needed. There is something real, something significant, hidden inside this equation after all. This is our first big clue. But just as suddenly as it showed up, the signal's gone again. After that one huge number, the next 5 tests, 6 all the way through 10, they all go right back to being 0. The silence is back. And honestly, that just makes that one number that survived feel even more important. And then, right at the very end, the last test, we get one final survivor, a second, absolutely enormous, non-zero number. So let's just step back. Here's the crucial point. Out of 12 possible pieces of this puzzle, our theorem has basically vaporized 10 of them. It left just 2 survivors. And these are the only parts of the entire equation that actually matter. So now we have everything we need. With just those 2 surviving numbers, we can finally crack this thing open. It's payoff time. Let's see what this whole investigation was all about. And this just perfectly shows the power of what we just did. Look at that. The monster on the left, with all its scary, complicated parts, it just collapses because 10 of its core components turned out to be 0. It simplifies down into this beautifully clean equation on the right. And it's built using only those 2 giant numbers we found, our 2 surviving clues. That's it. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The theorem didn't just help us solve the problem. It completely changed how we see it. It revealed that the problem was actually simple all along, just disguised in some very complex clothing. All that noise, all that mess, was just hiding a simple core structure that's defined by only 2 numbers. So from here, the path forward is actually pretty clear. Now, yeah, finding all 12 solutions or roots, it's still going to take some calculation. But it's not an impossible task anymore, not even close. The monster has been tamed. The puzzle is now totally solvable. And it kind of leaves you with this really fascinating thought, right? What other monsters out there, and I'm not just talking about math, but in any field, what other monsters are really just simple problems in disguise? All they're waiting for is the right tool or maybe just the right way of looking at them to finally reveal their secrets.